Randy Orton, arguably one of the greatest professional wrestlers of this generation. Born on March 1, 1980 in Knoxville, Iowa, Randy was destined for greatness. The apple didn't fall far from the tree because his father, Bob Orton, better known as Cowboy Bob Orton, was a famous pro wrestler himself who competed in the WWF and even managed to win the WWF Tag Team Championship with his partner, Ivan Putski. Randy grew up traveling with his dad on the wrestling circuit, and at just 12 years old, he even made an appearance on WWF television as his father's guest. So it's no wonder that Randy took up wrestling as his profession when he grew up. After graduating high school, he immediately entered into WWE's developmental system, Ohio Valley Wrestling, where he went by the name of Cobra and was managed by his on-screen father, Cowboy Bob Orton. He impressed the WWE higher-ups with his natural talent inside the ring, and was brought up to the main roster in late 2002. On the February 3, 2003 episode of SmackDown, Orton made his official debut and aligned himself with the legendary group of heels known as the APA, or the Acolytes, Protection Agency, also consisting of Farrokh and Bradshaw. During this time, Orton would still go by the name of Cobra and even pick up some victories against some big names such as The Undertaker. But as we know, his name would soon change. Orton was drafted to Raw in the 2003 WWE Draft, and on July 2003, he got caught up in a segment involving Ric Flair, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels. When Michaels and Flair argued over the World Heavyweight Championship, they were attacked by none other than Randy Orton, who made his presence felt right away on Raw, with the name change from Cobra to Randy Orton. The heel turn was complete, and Orton revealed himself to be the third member of Evolution. At the time, Evolution was made up of Triple H, Ric Flair, and Batista, and with the addition of the young Randy Orton, the group was unstoppable. Evolution had complete control of the WWE at this time, and Triple H was the top dog, so to speak. Batista and Orton were basically there to make Triple H look strong. They did pretty much whatever he asked them to do, whether it was costing fan favorites matches or simply picking up wins themselves while displaying Triple H's superiority over the competition. On May 26, 2004, Orton would get his first taste of World Championship gold when he captured the Intercontinental Championship by defeating Eddie Guerrero. Just 2 months later, on July 26, 2004, Orton went on to capture the World Heavyweight Championship after defeating Triple H, becoming the youngest WWE World Champion in history at the ripe age of 24 years old. Now, before we move on to the next part of this video, if you're enjoying it so far, then please make sure to smash the like button. It really helps us out, so please don't forget to do that. Thanks. As the years went on, Orton continued to remain at the top of WWE, feuding with the likes of Mick Foley, Chris Benoit, and many more. 2005 would bring about a lot of change in Randy Orton's career. On April 2005, Orton would lose the World Heavyweight Championship to Triple H. This would lead to a face turn as Evolution began to break apart. After losing the title, Orton's alliance with Evolution completely fell apart, and he found himself in the middle of a feud with his former Evolution brothers. On June 27, 2005, Orton would even help out his biggest rival at the time, Triple H, by distracting him during his match against John Cena, which allowed Triple H to hit Cena with a low blow. Even though this was technically a face turn, Orton would continue to use underhanded tactics to defeat his opponents, such as tapping out Edge with the help of a foreign object. Despite this, Orton would capture the World Heavyweight Championship again by defeating the reigning champion, SmackDown's Batista, at SummerSlam 2007. This victory made Orton a two-time world champion, but it was short-lived as he would drop the title back to Triple H at the Unforgiven pay-per-view in September 2007. Orton's career would take off again in 2009 when he turned heel once again and aligned himself with the Legacy stable, consisting of Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase. Legacy feuded with the likes of the Hardy Boys and the WWE, also pushed Orton to the moon. In fact, Orton would go on to become a three-time WWE World Champion by defeating Triple H at SummerSlam 2009. At this point, he was well established as a true top guy in WWE, and fans loved to hate him. There was no denying that Orton was extremely talented and without a doubt one of the best in the entire company. But this would all change in 2010 when Randy Orton would be suspended by WWE for violating their wellness policy. In 2011, Orton would make his return to WWE television. However, he would once again test positive for a banned substance and be suspended for another 60 days. This began a pattern of behavior for Orton, as he would end up testing positive for drugs again in 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, and 2016, which led to him being fined and suspended by the WWE. Despite all these issues, Orton's career didn't suffer too much, and he remained one of the most prominent members of the SmackDown roster. On June 2013, Orton would go on to capture his fourth WWE World Championship by defeating John Cena at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. As the years went on, Orton would have to deal with many personal issues, including his father's health concerns and even his father's passing in 2022. Throughout all this, Orton was able to keep it together and remain a dominant force on WWE television, winning his fifth World Championship in the process by defeating Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania 33. At this point, Orton was considered a veteran, and he began to take on a new role in WWE, mentoring younger stars such as AJ Styles. Unfortunately, Orton's sixth World Championship reign would be cut short due to a storyline injury caused by none other than Brock Lesnar. This led to Orton taking some time off to recover. However, his absence was short-lived, as he returned with a vengeance, turning heel and attacking Matt Hardy. This would lead to Orton capturing his seventh World Championship by defeating Jinder Mahal at the SummerSlam pay-per-view. As the years went on, Orton would continue to feud with many top stars in WWE, including Bray Wyatt, Samoa Joe, Jeff Hardy, and many more. He would also become a father as he welcomed his first child with his wife Kim, and would eventually go on to have 2 more children. Throughout this time, Orton's career continued to flourish, and he would go on to win his 8th WWE World Championship by defeating Drew McIntyre at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view.
But sadly,
Orton's 9th World Championship reign would also be short-lived, as he would drop the title back to McIntyre just 2 months later. But guess what? Orton wasn't done yet. In fact, he had a lot more in the tank. After losing the World Championship, Orton would go on to team up with The New Day, consisting of Big E, Xavier Woods, and Kofi Kingston. Together, the Unlikely Quartet would form a powerful alliance, and would even go on to defeat the Bloodline at WrestleMania 39, consisting of Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, and Jimmy Uso. But unfortunately, Orton's career would once again be disrupted, as he suffered an injury during a house show in 2023. This forced him to miss several months of action, but thankfully he was able to make a shocking return at the SummerSlam pay-per-view in August 2023. The Viper was back, and he wasted no time getting back into the action. In fact, Orton wasted no time getting back into the title picture, as he and his tag team partner, Matt Hardy, would go on to challenge for the WWE Tag Team Championships on multiple occasions. But the Viper wasn't done yet. He set his sights on an even bigger prize, the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. On October 2023, Orton would cash in his Money in the Bank contract on the reigning champion Seth Rollins and become a 14-time world champion in the process. The crowd went wild as the legendary Viper once again proved why he is truly the apex predator. There you have it, folks. That's the incredible story of the one, the only Randy Orton, a true legend of the Squared Circle. If you enjoyed this video, then be sure to check out our latest news updates. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.